Booyakasha! Our apologies, folks, for some reason TMNT Dare Talk and I forgot to mention Booyakasha in regards to the hip catchphrase of the 2012 Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon series. We're back at it again with our good friend Christian, TMNT Dare Talk. We're going to be talking about Casey Jones in Season 2 here. And Christian, whatchamacallit here, buddy? So Season 1 did great. You can tell it was pretty popular amongst fans, too. Do you recall seeing a lot of, fans talking on this in Facebook and forums?
Yeah, actually, as I think you mentioned last time, it became a real popular incarnation of the Turtles because you saw merchandising everywhere. I mean, there wasn't that much when the 2003 cartoon came out, but with the 2012, I still see some stuff of the 2012 show here and there, and yeah, especially on the internet, you really see that people really like this show. There's some people like who grew up with the show. I just gotta mention, like my daughter. I was talking to my daughter last time after we chatted, and she was like, "Oh, did you mention that this is my favorite TMNT incarnation?" Yeah, she's young. She's 13. She grew up with these turtles, and she was really into it. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's a big one.
Oh, then I can't wait to talk over those crossover episodes with you. I'm sure that had to be such a heartwarming experience for you and your daughter, almost like a passing of the torch when the OGs make their return. But let's get right into it here. We got another, I believe, about 20-something episodes here, and we're going to start with the mutation situation.
Yeah, Mutation Situation is the first episode of season 2, and in this, the turtles run into the Krang because last season they defeated them, but they're still out there, and they have a big fight with the Krang, which causes some trouble because during the fight, like they're like in this spaceship that's flying over New York, and they have a fight with the Krang, and during all this chaos dozens and dozens of mutagen canisters fall out over the city, which is a great shot because it's like in slow mo and all these canisters floating down from the sky. And yeah, one of these mutagen canisters hits April's father, who then turns into a mutant bat and well goes crazy. It's like not very human like, goes crazy. The turtles try to capture him, but he escapes, and when April finds out that it was the turtles who caused this by accident, of course, but yeah, the whole mutation situation was caused by the turtles, she got really angry and she got pissed, and she's like, "Hey, I don't want to see you ever again. This was all your fault." And she storms off. And yeah, that's a big break between the turtles and April here. And well, that's a big start here. We see immediately where the season is going with the mutagen that's now all over town. The turtles have to find it before it causes trouble, and yeah, trouble it will cause. So yeah, that's a big start. Like, okay, now we know where we're going with this, and very interesting, very good start to a new season.
Yeah, how'd you like Shredder and Krang teaming up, too? Just like the good old days, huh? The Krang.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, this one's kind of a freaky deaky one for me. This one was another one. It's not probably that horrorish, but the Squirrelanoids. This one was kind of weird for me. Invasion of the Squirrelanoids.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. This whole episode is like a homage to the classic Alien movies, because because of some of the mutagen that's lying around town, some squirrels get their paws on and they mutate into this creatures that it's very creepy. It's very creepy because they crawl into people's mouth, and then when they come out, and they are become like giant alien like squirrelnoids. And yeah, it's the whole episode is like TMNT meets Alien, and it's very creepy, like all this mutant squirrel creatures crawling around, and Mikey is always reminded of his comic books, and like, this is just like in the comic books, this is a horror comic. And yeah, in the end, the turtles, they can seal away the creatures for now. But yeah, one big horror episode, and well, not the last one in this series,
Yeah, there's
because Cyranielli, the showrunner of the 2012 show, really likes his horror movies, and we get some other horror episodes down the line. But yeah, that's Invasion of the Squirrelnoids.
Oh yeah, and some crazy new characters too that remind you of like horror stories too, especially Karai's friend that we'll get to know eventually in this series. So, coming up next, I enjoyed this one a lot. This is one of my favorite episodes of the season. Follow the Leader with Leonardo getting the spotlight.
Yeah, it's well, Shredder says he's got some stuff to do in Japan, so he goes off to Japan and leaves Karai in charge. And Karai gets some new, well, help from the Krang. They provide her with some footbots. So, well, the Foot Clan got upgrades. They got footbots, and there's a big fight. And during all this, Leonardo gets caught by Karai, and um, yeah, and the other turtles, they have to find to get him back, and Raph is now in charge because there was this big fight with between Raph and Leo. Like, hey, I can be the leader, and now Raph really has to prove it. And well, in the end, they are able to rescue Leonardo. Some once again cool fight scenes. The footbots, they are really interesting new enemies. And well, at the end of the episode, Splinter tells Leonardo that he now knows that Karai is his daughter, and yeah, that's gonna be complicated in the future.
It's really, again, really good writing for a kid show. It keeps you on your toes. Like you said, on the last one we did here on Spotify and YouTube for Shellanomics, we didn't get this as kids, so it's really cool to see the 2003 show and this show bring in, ooh, what's going to happen next week? You know, it's like a nice episodic soap opera. And finally, somebody comes to town in Mutagen Man.
Yeah, Mutant Man Unleashed. In this episode, we finally get introduced to our version of none other than Casey Jones, who is a student of April's school. And April, who is still doesn't want to talk to the turtles because she's still pissed at them. And but Donnie is like, hey, can we talk? But she's still hanging out with Casey, who's like this hockey player dude. And during all this, Timothy, the pulverizer, is still in Donatello's lab, and he's able to, well, drink some mutagen and grow some arms and legs and becomes the Mutagen Man. And he goes after April because Donatello always talked about her, and he wants to uh, get her as a friend. It's very once again, bit creepy there. He goes after them, and the turtles have to, well, stop him. And in the end, with some experimental some mutagen that Donatello was experimenting on, they are able to freeze Mutagen Man. And Donnie once again promises, "Hey, when I have an antidote, when I have the retro mutagen to turn you back, I will do so." But for now, he's like frozen in Donatello's lab, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. And as I said, the introduction of Casey Jones.
How'd you like this, Casey? I didn't mind him. I enjoy my crazy psychopath, the 19, our Fred Wolf one who just wants to break stuff all the time. And the movie one was pretty good too. And the original movie comics was cool. 2003 was cool. I didn't mind this one at all. I wanted to hear your thoughts on him.
Yeah, it is. He's a good Casey, as just like April is. He's also a teenager in this version, and it works as that. Sometimes he gets a bit cocky, and sometimes he gets really arrogant, and but it works for this guy. I mean, if a grown man would be like this, he would be insufferable. But here he's a teenager. He's like, you know how teenagers are. He gets a little bit wise guy, and but yeah, for this character, it really works. And but he can really, he still can fight. He's still a cool fighter with his hockey stick and his hockey mask, the classic stuff. So yeah, but for this version, in my opinion, it works. They did it.
Nope, I agree the same way. I have no problem with it at all, and he's pretty chill too, which is it's a little breath of fresh air compared to the really aggressive Casey too. So I thought it was good. This one I felt bad for my buddy because obviously the name it kind of says what's going to happen, and Mikey gets Shell Acme.
Yeah. because Mikey was fooling around with some experimental mutagen stuff that Donatello was working on because he's still trying to find a retro mutagen to demutate April's father. Um, but in Mikey's case, he gets, as you said, shellacne, well, like this pimples on him, and in the end, they will explode, and well, he will explode with it. So they have to find a cure for it, and they go to the destroyed TCRI building to find a centrifuge to make an antidote. And there they run into Baxter Stockman, and somehow Dogbound gets also mixed up in this whole situation. And during all this, in the end, something happens that, if I remember correctly, never happened before, because Dogbound, the mutant, falls into some mutagen and gets double mutated and becomes the werewolf like creature that Mikey calls Razor. Yeah, just like the classic 1991 Secret of the Ooze character. And yeah, they have a fight. In the end, the turtles are able, Donatello is able to create an antidote so that Mikey does not explode. He's back to his cute self again. So that works out. But well, Dogbound became Razor, so now he's faster, stronger, and better.
Yeah, what was your take on this? Because for me, it's like you can't have peanut butter without jelly. You can't have Thanksgiving here in America without, turkey. It's hard for me to like Razor without Toka here, but there is a Toka later, I believe, that comes around. But how are you okay with this Razor?
Yeah, it works. I mean, he's really like this wolf creature, so the name fits. And I really like his design, to be honest. I really like his design, like this creepy, um, almost skeleton-like werewolf creature. He's pretty interesting, and so pretty different to what Dogbound was. Dogbound was this hulking big creature, and now he's smaller and skinnier and faster. And it's really, once again, interesting new character, interesting new take on the character. And yeah, I really like his design. It's cool.
And the one thing I do like too is they're not as like Bebop and Rocksteady or Team Rocket and Pokemon. They're not really dim-witted. Yes, they lose a lot, but they're not really that incompetent. You know what I mean? Like anytime they fight the turtles.
Yeah.
So I always appreciated that too. So now tensions are going to start rising here now with Shredder getting a little irked at his a person taking over his spot here in Target, April O'Neil.
Yeah. Yeah. Donnie still tries to talk to April. Still tries to make it good again, because he tells her, hey, it was an accident, we're trying to fix it, it was an accident. And she gets told the same thing by Casey. Sometimes things just happen and you can't do anything about it. And yeah, during all this, there's a new enemy appearing, because Karai gets a new plaything, a new robot from the Krang that's called Chrome Dome, a new powered up, super powerful footbot robot thing. And yeah, it gets goes after April to grab her, to kidnap her. And yeah, the turtles then come in to save April, and April realizes, okay, the thing that happened, it was not really the turtles' fault. It was an accident. Sometimes accidents happen, and the turtles, they're able to defeat Chrome Dome, save April, and they're back to family. And so yeah, that's fine again. And once again, another classic character that gets a new treatment here with Chrome Dome.
Yeah, it's almost like the newer movie that came out a couple years ago, all the mutants, where they're bringing all these guys back. And in the 2012 series, for me, I gotta say most of them do work, and especially the new one here, Slash, with a huge return to the Turtleverse with a very, very familiar voice.
Yes, the episode Slash and Destroy. In this episode, because of some mutagen, Raph's Bat Turtle, Spike, once again, they're really taking their time with his characters because Spike appeared in the very first episode of the first season, and now he gets mutated and he becomes Slash because he thinks that's like, hey, I never really liked the name Spike, call me Slash. And he's like really this big hulking turtle, and he wants to just hang out with Raphael and do good with him, but he thinks that the other turtles, they don't really appreciate Raph, and so he wants them out of the way, and so Slash attacks the turtles, and in the end Raph has to decide, hey Slash, this does not work. They fight to save his brothers, and yeah, and in the end, the Slash gets defeated, but he disappears to fight another day. And well, yeah, this is our introduction of this version of Slash.
How'd you like Slash? I like his physique in this one.
Yeah, totally. He's like this big hulking, like snapping turtle. He's really cool, and I really like it because here at the start he's like a little bit crazy. He goes after turtles, really beats them up good, and but he changes over the course of the series. Once again, this show really it takes its time with the characters, and they can develop, they can change, and so that's very cool. And as I said, yeah, I really like the design of Slash in this version.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it's nice because he's a recurring character. He does come back a couple times. And how'd you like Corey Feldman voicing him, the good old G Donatello voice from the Turtles movie?
Yeah, I always think it's cool when old voices come back. Once again, gotta say this is not the last time that we hear a familiar voice in the series, and it really works. He's really got a good voice to differentiate from his Donatello from the classic movies. He's really different. It's really darker, deeper, and it really works for this character. It's really cool to hear him again in the Turtleverse.
Now, did you recognize him the first time you heard him? I did not. I know Mondo Gecko. We'll get to him later on episode. I knew him right away, but I didn't know this was Corey Feldman. I had to actually find out through, I think it was either a forum group or something. I didn't pick up his voice right away.
I would not have either. If I would not have read it beforehand, I would not have known it, honestly, because he's just this voice. He's doing this voice so different from what he did with Donatello in the 90s, and so I would not have realized it at first.
Yeah, same here. Very, very cool. He did come in here though. So coming up next, we get a primetime episode for our buddy Casey Jones, and we get a new character, but familiar to OG fans to a degree.
You're talking about the episode "The Good, the Bad, and Casey Jones," right?
Yep. With
that's the next one.
The return of April's new buddy, not somebody who worked in her office, but new kid at school.
Yeah. Exactly. We meet April's friend here, who is at her school. That's Irma. Yeah, we get Irma in this universe. And Casey, after everything that he's seen in the last few times, he's like, hey, I got to do something because there are freaks and mutants and robots out there. And he really becomes like this vigilante character here. And during all this, he runs into Raphael. So this episode is pretty much like an adaptation of the Raphael microseries from the Mirage comics when Raph and Casey ran into each other first time. So yeah, of course they fight, and then Casey follows Raphael to the turtle's lair, and he gets followed by some footbots. And so Raphael and Casey Jones have to team up to stop the footbots, and there's a big fight. And well, this is the start of a big friendship between Raph and Casey, the two knuckleheads, the two angry characters. And yeah, it's a really cool way to get these two together. And so Casey at first Casey now is really cool with everyone. Well, he's got a problem with Splinter because as we find out, Casey is afraid of rats. But yeah, so that's the start how Casey became a part of this team here.
Yep, exactly. I like him here. And how'd you like the chemistry with Casey and Raph in future episodes here?
Yeah, it totally works because you see they really got a friendship because they're so similar to each other. And but still there's sometimes some conflict between them because they still tell each other when the other one thinks that it's not right what you're doing, and it's not like, yeah, I'm fine with everything you're doing. They're really good friends, and but in the end they always come back. So yeah, it's really good to see this version between this team between Casey and Rev in this version. Yeah.
Yeah, and here we go again. Oh, actually, I didn't get to actually ask you this before. What would you rather have had him? I'm fine with them calling him the Krang instead of Utrams. I wanted your take on that too, because our next episode coming up is the Krang conspiracy, with 2 A's, not 1 A for Krang.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's good to call them the Krang. First off, it's a callback to the Krang from the classic cartoon. But on the other hand, if they would have called them the Utroms, it would have been kind of weird because the Utroms were mostly good guys. They were mostly nice and friendly aliens. So
Yeah.
like this is like the evil version of the Utroms, and so like it works in this way. They really thought about it, like, okay, how can we make this work? And they did something there. I mean, we get some Krang background information later on. And yeah, it's good that they call them the Krang. I think it really works.
And they're not as competent as the Utroms either, especially in those first few episodes in season 1 with their, I guess, doppelganger like human forms. So yeah, good call on that one.
Yeah, and I always like the way the Krang talk. It always cracks me up. Like the Krang got to do what the Krang got to do, and if the turtles got to defeat, we got to defeat the ones who are called the turtles. It always cracks me up.
Yeah, it's a good running gag. I like it too. Oh, so the Krang conspiracy, I believe, is next.
Yeah, the Krang conspiracy, of course. In this episode, we meet a new character called Jack Kurtzman, who was investigating the whole thing with the Krang. He stumbled over them and he found out about them. And it turns out that we get some background information because the Krang, who appeared to be on Earth for a very long time, and they tried to terraform the Earth, but they were not able to perfect the mutagen to do so. And so they started experimenting on humans, and one of the humans that they experimented on was April's mother. So that's why April's got like this psychic powers. There's something behind it, and so we find out about that. And yeah, and TCRI is also back in business. It's rebuilt. The Krang are back there, and the turtles and April sneak in, and April gets kidnapped by the Krang. But well, the turtles are able to save her. But during all this, we meet some like clone experiments of April, like some clones, and even a faulty clone called April Derp, and that was one of the weirdest things in the whole show, I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, like I forgot about that when I came to this episode. Like, oh my god, that's right, I forgot about the power of the Derp.
Yeah, that was strange. But yeah, and then, well, we now know that April is like kind of like a mutant because she's got like some Krang DNA in her, which is why the Krang want her, because like she's like the missing link between Earth and the Krang, so that they can perfect the mutagen. So it all comes back together. It's very, very interesting how it all evolves, how the story evolves.
Yep, no, exactly. And I like where it's going. I don't like where this episode's going because again, you're like, yeah, bring on the horde. I'm like, I'm gonna be on this lighter side of town here, but here comes Fungus Humongous.
Yeah, some sentient mushrooms appear in the sewers, and they got this spores that when someone inhales them, they get shown like the biggest fears, the biggest nightmares. And well, everyone, the turtles, Casey, April, they get sprayed with the spores, and which causes like April then gets hunted by like bats. It's all just an illusion. It's all just a vision. But it reminded me of like the scarecrow's gas from the Batman. Um, Casey has a fear of rats. Raph gets scared by cockroaches. Mikey gets hunted by the squirrelnoids. Donnie is afraid of being rejected by April. And Leonardo is really like he one who is most afraid of losing his family, of failing as a leader. But in the end, Leonardo is the one who is able to confront the fungus among us, this gigantic sentient mutant mushroom, and he's able to overcome his fears and defeat the creature in the end, and everything turns back to normal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, another good episode there. What I really enjoy about this 2012 series as a whole is just, again, the celebrities come back and they give. In the next episode, we get Metalhead Rewired. We get our good friend Lewis Black coming back, and I don't know if we did talk about him calling Raphael's weapons salad-sized salad tongues, but were you okay with him calling them frogs? I think it is something what a stand-up comedian would do just to irk the turtles. I know he keeps calling them frogs in this one.
Yeah, it works. The kung fu frogs. It totally works as for the character. Is like really just annoying, and that's the way he should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with Metalhead Rewired, Donnie is like upgrading Metalhead, and but Metalhead starts acting weird, and they follow him, and they find out about like this place where the Krang are holding mutants, like other mutants. As you said, we get some cameos by a Spider Bite. Slash is there. I think we see a Squirrelnoid. Snakeweed, I think, is also there. So just like all these mutants that are running around town, that are caught by the Krang. So because the turtle think that Metalhead is back to being under control of the Krang, but it turns out that he just wants to free all these mutants. And well, as the turtles escape through this portal, Metalhead stays back and he gets blown up with the blaze, so that well the turtles can escape. And very sad in it. Really, Donnie is like, Metalhead, I will rebuild you. He's gone for now, but you will be rebuilt. And yeah, it's a very heartbreaking end in this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they do hit I guess what the cool kids on the block called back then the feels. The feels are reals in this series, no doubt. And we still got that big heartbreaker that's coming up later. But this one here, I want to ask you a question when you're done giving this, synopsis here of Rats and Men.
Yeah, here the Rat King returns, and he's got his hands on some mutagen and turned some of his rats into like giant rats that attack the city, attack the people of New York. So the turtles have to fight him again, and yeah, and during all this, like this is the main plot, but during all this, we get introduced to one of my all-time favorite new characters of the show, which is Ice Cream Kitty. Is like this little cat that Mikey by accident mutates into like an ice cream cat, and he calls it Ice Cream Kitty. And well, the turtles and everyone confronts the Red King, and yeah, this is where at the end Splinter confronts the Red King, fights him, and is able to defeat him with one of the most badass moment when the Red King falls down into this underground cave, and Splinter just walks away. Farewell, my king. And this is the end of the episode. How cool can you be? Yeah, great episode. Introduction of Ice Cream Kitty. Big plus.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a quick plug, guys. Again, usually we plug them at the end, but if you guys haven't yet, please stop by TMNT Dare Talks podcast. He actually has the voice of Ice Cream Kitty on his show. You got to talk with Kevin Eastman. Dude, you have a lot more knowledge than I do, friend. Did you ever get to ask him or how they actually got Kevin Eastman to voice a character in this show?
I actually did when I had him on my show. This
Nice.
was one of my questions. Yes, I did, because I wanted to know, hey, how did this happen? How did you do it? And he said that, well, the showrunner, they came up to him and said, hey, you're Kevin Eastman. You're one of the co-creators. We want you on the show. We want to have a cool character that you can voice. And he was like, hey, this new character, Ice Cream Kitty, I want to voice her. I want to be the voice of this cat that just talks in meows, because he remembers that like there's an older South Park episode where they had George Clooney on and he was just voicing a dog, and he's like, I want to do the same thing. I want to do the same thing, but with a cat. And
Oh,
so it's okay. So now you're Ice Cream Kitty, and it's such a funny fun fact here.
oh my God! Yeah, it's a great episode. Just so random, and it's like, again, you wouldn't know this unless you found out on the internet somewhere. You would have never been like,
Yeah.
that's Kevin Eastman as a cat. Oh my gosh, hilarious! Thank you for that plug there. And so now I'm guessing this two-parter has to be based off of the video game name to a degree, the Manhattan Project. As me and you both love that game for the regular Nintendo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project. Take it away, my friend, for this two-parter.
Yeah, this is like this like really feels like a mid-season finale, because Shredder comes back from Japan and he's brought a new character, a mutant tiger called Tiger Claw, and he's like, "Hey, I'm back in charge." And I really like this moment when when Shredder sees Razor for the first time, because when Shredder left, he was still dog bound, and he looks at him and like, Bradford, you look horrible. um, so yeah, he sends Tiger Claw and Karai out to find the turtles. And on the other hand, we have like this. There's some underground earthquakes that are caused by like gigantic krang worm, the tetragons. And so we have like these two plots where the turtles, they get caught, like Leo, Mike and Rev get caught by Tiger Claw and Karai to lure out Splinter. And on the other hand, we have Donnie, April, and Casey, who are trying to stop the Krang worms. And yeah, it's like this moment when Leo tries to talk Karai, hey, you are actually Splinter's daughter. So yeah, but she does not listen. She's like, you're just lying. And yeah, there's like this big fight. When and Splinter then gets caught, gets brought to Shredder, gets beaten up by Shredder, and they have to save Splinter. It's all big fight. And well, in the end, we have great moment where like the Krang, this gigantic Krang worm, eats Tiger Claw and gets sucked through a dimensional portal. And in the end, we find out that they get zapped to the classic 2D world of the classic cartoon. And we see the four turtles all voiced by the original voice actors, which is just a wonderful moment. Um, and yeah, so in the end, like Tiger Claw is like caught in the classic cartoon universe. And yeah, and well, all the turtles now know that Karai is actually Splinter's daughter, but Karai does not believe it. So craziness. It's really so much going on. So crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just so awesome for me. I watched that part of it, I think, no joke, at least 10 times in a row. I know, because it was only 30 seconds seeing the OGs back, but I was like, oh my god, Shredder nuts, and they're all there with their weapons, and yo, dudes, it's like, oh my god, it just was just so, so heartwarming to see that. And to me, Tiger Claw is the Harley Quinn for the Turtles franchise. This is just my own opinion, but I love this character. I loved him from the get-go when I first heard the name. The name is badass. The character's badass, and like Has he made his appearance anywhere else after this? Do you know TMNT Dare Talk? Has he been in other
Um,
incarnations of Turtles?
he appeared in like some cameos in the Saturday Morning
Morning.
Adventures,
Okay.
but that's pretty much it. So but he's still the same character. So there's no other incarnation of Tiger Claw yet, which is unfortunate because I could really see him in like some other versions. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. You like him too, or?
Oh yeah, totally. I think it's really a cool character. He's really a great fighter. He like with his dress up, he really reminds me of Boba Fett from Star Wars. And yeah, he's a cool mutant tiger. You cannot go wrong with that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And here comes another episode here with a special character. We'll see if you can point him out for him. It's Mazes and Mutants.
Yeah, the turtles, they're relaxing, playing some role play games, some LARPing, like they dress up, like Leonardo is a knight, Donatello is a wizard, and they're just having fun in the sewers. But suddenly, all this make believe turns into reality, and they meet a new character called Sir Malachi, who is a mutant sparrow. Um, and well, the turtles, they have all these adventures. It's like, okay, we're really in a fantasy world now, but until they realize in the end that it's all just an illusion created by Sir Malachi. That's his mutant power because he was a kid, and he got hit by some of the mutagen and turned into this sparrow. The turtles, they were never in danger. It was all just a game because Sir Malachi, he just wanted someone to play with, and the turtles like, hey, it's okay, but don't do this again. So yeah, that's well. In the end, the turtles, they're cool with Sir Malachi, and he walks off, and that's the end of that story. It's really cool, turtles in fantasy, and we even got some action figures out of this episode when the turtles, they're like all in their LARP costumes, and which I have. They're great. They're great action figures, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic. And the cool thing too is this guy resembles the old school Playhouse because the voice of Malachi was none other than Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, which was crazy.
Yeah,
In this show, just all the celebrities were coming out for Turtle Love here, and like we said before, they all did a great job.
absolutely.
So coming up next, we've got the Lonely Mutation of Baxter Stockman, where I kind of think most people are going to know where this one's going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. On one hand, Donatello is able to finally create a retro mutagen to demutate April's father. But on the other hand, we have Shredder, who is really annoyed of all the failings that Baxter Stockman did. So, in I gotta say, the very gruesome moment, like because Baxter has this. All these mutagen samples around his neck, and Shredder explodes them, and it hits him. And it's really all in slow mo, and it's really it's. I think this is a really dark moment. Like, please don't do it, please don't do it. And then he gets turned into a fly, a mutant fly, and so there's a big fight then because, as I said, Donnie has the retro mutagen, tries to get it to Kirby to turn him back into a human, but Baxter finds out about this. He wants to be turned into a human again too. So there's like this big three-way fight in the end, and but in the end, Kirby is really able to be turned back into a human. So finally, that story is over. But now, well, Baxter still working for Shredder, but now he's a big, pretty disgusting fly, I gotta say.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, Christian, we just both of us appreciate the character development here. It took a full season and a half, just about, to get Baxter to be a fly, not just a quick one and done. So, well done again by the writers of this
Yeah.
show. And again, it just keeps getting better and better. Here comes Neutralized.
Yeah, first off, Slash is back. So Ref runs into Slash again, and he's got a new partner. He's now teamed up with the Neutralizer, and they're working together to destroy the Krang, to beat up the Krang, to finish off the Krang. And but during all this, they don't really care about hurting other people. And so, but the turtles, they cannot let this happen. So they have a fight with Slash and the Neutralizer. And but in the end, the turtles are able to stop the Neutralizer with the help of Slash, because Slash, as it turns out, is not really cool with hurting people. He's cool with hurting the Krang, but he's not like, hey, I don't want to destroy like the city or anything. And the Neutralizer is like, I don't care. So they fight him and, well, defeat the Neutralizer, and Slash like, hey, Ref, I hope we're cool again, and but I've got to find my own way. And then he leaves, which is once again, as I said, a cool, like a cool moment, like a cool character development for Slash. Like at first he was like this old psychotic, but I realized like, okay, he's getting calmer now, so maybe there's a future for him. And yeah, pretty cool. And in this episode, the Neutralizer has a voice. He can finally speak that he did not do, he was not able to do in the last time we saw him. And he is voiced by none other than Danny Trejo. Yeah, Machete.
God, thank you for pointing this out. Just a who's who again with all the celebrities that just love turtles, and I appreciate them coming on here. We still have a lot more of those to come in the episodes to come in this one and in the other seasons here. So, oh my gosh! So, just to take a quick little break here, who has been your favorite new character so far? For me, it's Tiger Claw. Are you going Tiger Claw, Neutralizer? Who you backing?
I gotta go with Ice Cream Kitty. Sorry, you cannot go wrong with Ice Cream Kitty.
Agreed all the way. Yeah, the maker of turtles. Yeah, that's a hard one to top. Good call, there, my friend. Good call. Coming right back into it now. We're gonna go with Pizza Face.
Yeah, we meet a new evil mutant called Pizza Face, who is like this pizza cook who, well, turned into a living pizza and turns other people into like zombies because he wants to eat them. And Mikey is the only one who is able to fight him because the other turtles and even Splinter get turned into pizza zombies. So once again, it's up to Mikey to save the day, and he's able to, well, defeat Pizza Face by, well, actually eating him, which is also very disgusting in a way if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, and I really like the whole thing in this episode that the other turtles did not see Pizza Face because they were under the control of him. They were zombies, and in the end, Mikey tells them about everything that happened. They're like, "Dude, that was just a dream. You're crazy." And but it turns out it was not really a dream, and like a little Pizza Face is still out there, and it's very cool. This episode was very cool structured in this way. It was like, okay, was it a dream? Was it not? Well,
Yeah.
maybe.
And it's great too because again we had a Pizza Face toy growing up, but we never got him in the cartoon. So I was excited to see a Pizza Face debut in the cartoon world here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go. Here comes my guy back on the scene here in the Wrath of Tiger Claw.
Oh, Tiger Claw is back. He's totally back in badass mode. He's really beaten up. He like lost an eye because he had to travel through dimensions to get back to our to the turtles world, and he wants revenge on the turtles. So Shredder sends him out together with Karai to find the turtles, and well, Karai is talking to the turtles because she apparently has doubts about the whole thing with Shredder and Splinter. And she walks up to the turtles like, "Hey, I think I believe you." And Leonardo is like, "Okay, cool, let's go to your father." And then they go to the lair together. And she meets Splinter and finds out that it's really the truth, that Splinter is really her real father, that she did not really believe at first. Uh, but Tiger Claw is coming after them, and now she is on the turtle side. Um, And the turtles have to fight Tiger Claw once again. Fantastic fight there in this meat factory. And but in the end, Tiger Claw takes Karai with him, brings her back to Shredder. Karai is like, yeah, I found out you're not really my father. And well, Shredder's like, well, sorry then. And he throws her into a cell and captures her. And yeah, that's the end of that story. So Karai is now captured, but she knows the truth about her father.
Yeah, and I'm right with you there all the way, pal. I really enjoy the fighting sequences in this show. They took their time with it. We've talked about in other episodes when we broke down every episode in the 1987 series. In the later years, all we got were people just throw them around. There's really no action. Let's not use our weapons. Let's just throw them at objects and just throw people and jump around. Here we actually get to see weapon usage, nice kicks, nice punches, phenomenal sequences, and I'm with you on the action here. So. Coming up next is going to be The Legend of the Kuro Kabuto. I believe I'm saying that right, because I know the Pokemon Kabuto.
Yeah, yeah, but I think you're right there. The Kuro Kabuto is Shredder's helmet, and yeah, we meet Steranko again, who was the arms dealer that Shredder talked to in last season, and he's working together with Anton Zach, who is a high-tech thief who wants to steal the Shredder's helmet, which he successfully do. And through all the shenanigans, the turtles get their hands on Shredder's helmet, and they think that they can like trade the helmet for Karai, who is still captured by Shredder. So yeah, they do this. They give the helmet to Shredder in the end. But of course, Shredder double crosses them. He does not give them Karai. Instead, it's like a bomb. And well, in the end, there's a big explosion. And Karai is still captured. But well, we met a new character, and we got some more of an old character, Steranko and Zack, who once again will become more important in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like we say, nice character development. Even guys like we said, I thought Lewis Black was done. He comes back next year, so you never know when these guys are going to pop on back. Also, real quick, I guess we should mention this is Jason Biggs, the American voice actor for Leonardo, was no more. I believe he got into some trouble. And we have a cool dude who comes over in season 3, but we did have a new voice. And how'd you like the guy who took over Jason Biggs for a couple episodes?
I don't think, if I did not know about it, I don't think I would have realized it, because Dominic Cantrabone, who was the fill-in voice for Leonardo here, really did a good impression of Jason Biggs' voice of Leonardo. So I was totally fine with it. It will change, as you said, next season, even with a reason, with an in-universe reason. But yeah, for now, it's good. It's cool. He does a good impression. It works for Leo.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like, when we lost James Avery in the original cartoon, the other fellas who took over for him, there were a couple, but I think they all did a good job. And yeah, there were no complaints. It's and that's difficult to do when you already have a iconic star who's in there daily and that voice changes. I'm not sure how kids took it, but as an adult when I was watching this, I didn't have an issue either. Dominic did a great job. So coming up next is Plan 10.
Yeah, that's a crazy episode, because in this episode, during a fight with the Krang, Ref's mind gets switched with a Krang, and so yeah, like classic body switch comedy, and like Ref as a Krang finds out about the plans that the Krang have, and he's able to contact the other turtles, and they have like a fight there, and well, he finds out that Technodrome, who is now stuck on the ocean floor, is well, it got energy back, so it could come back later, causing trouble. And yeah, so there's like this all this crazy stuff with like Raph acting as a Krang, and Krang acting as Raph. It's just funny. In the end, they get switched back, so everything's fine again. It's pretty cool. Fun little thing here is that the Krang, they are voiced by Nolan North. And Nolan North was the voice of Raphael in the 2007 TMNT movie. So here we have a Krang as Raph with the voice of Krang, who was Raph. That's crazy.
That's another fun fact. Thank you for that pop-up. I appreciate
totally.
it.
But also, this episode has another one of the funniest scenes, I gotta say, when the Krang in Raph's body walks up to a lady or to someone on the street, like, "Hey, sorry, can you help me?" And of course, because it's like a mutant turtle, the lady runs off. It's a monster, and the Krang, as Raphael, looks into to the window and sees his reflection. Yeah, you are right. I am a monster. And then it starts raining. It's also dramatic. I thought it was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a funny episode.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We need a couple laughs every now and then. Yeah, kind of like the first episode in the 87 series with the lady, monsters, the old grandma yelling for her life. So, yeah, and it's nice when and again, the comedy's actually really good in this show, too. It's not too bad. Sarcasm's good when needed. Like, it doesn't feel forced like some shows where it's like, ugh. That's not even funny, guys, but well said there, and that is another great spot there, no doubt. Coming up, Vengeance is Mine. When you read that, you know something crazy is going to happen.
Oh boy, oh yeah. In this episode, the turtles are finally able to save Karai, to rescue Karai, and bring her back to the turtles' lair. But she wants to go after Shredder, who was lying to her whole life. But Karai gets captured by Shredder again and is used to lure out Splinter and the turtles. And so he's like setting a trap where he like ties up Karai above a vat of mutagen, and he's like, I will put her, I will throw her in there if you don't come. So they come, Splinter comes, big fight once again. But in the end, during all this fight, Karai falls into the mutagen and gets turned into a snake mutant and runs off. And I just like how Shredder is portrayed here, because once again, it was all Shredder's fault that this happened. He did this, but still at the end, he's like, "Oh, Yoshi, this is all your fault because of everything you did." And he's so delusional. I just think it's great how he's like totally crazy, totally evil here. And well, but one thing is that in the end we see that Karai has this power to turn back into a human form. Like, she's a snake, but she can turn back into a human. Well, that's gonna be interesting. But now she's out there in the city, and once again the turtles have to find her.
Yeah, how'd you like the way the Karai's character development was going with this serpent type stuff? I thought it was okay. Again, it's not bad. Again, the show is called Mutant Turtles, so you're trying to get, like you say, maybe new toy lines, new characters. Were you okay with Karai's storyline going this way?
It was definitely unsuspected. I did not think that it would go this way, that Karai would be mutated. That was very unusual because it never happened before with Karai in any version. But for the story, it worked, I gotta say, because, like, okay, so now it's just like you cannot have a happy end yet, because it's like, okay, we got Karai now knows the truth. We have Karai rescued. Everything could be fine now. No, we need another tragic moment where everything falls apart, and yeah, so the story can go on. It's gotta go. There's still gotta be some story to tell here. So I think I know why they did this.
Yeah, and it's a way to just to not keep everything going dry. Again, 5 seasons is a long time for a show to be on the air. They did this for 5 years. Great job, and throw a couple of twists every now and then. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, guys. For season 2, here comes A Chinatown Ghost Story. Now, for a horror guy, did you like this one a lot?
Yeah, because this episode is like a the totally turtle version of come on, what's the movie called? Once upon no, Um, Big Trouble in Little China. That
Yep.
was it.
There you go. Yep.
And even like the ghost character that we meet in this episode, Ho Chan, is voiced by the bad guy from that movie. So it like all comes back together. And yeah, he's like this ghost magician. Ho Chan, this wizard who is released by the purple dragons. So he like uses them, but then he finds the turtles and like, who, you're cooler, and he turns Raph, Mike, and Leo into his servants with all these mystical, magical powers. Pretty cool. And but the ghost wants to become real again. So Donnie and Casey have to work together. And well, in the end, they're able to seal him again and like this dagger and defeat him. So yeah, it's just a little side story, I gotta say, but I thought it was cool. It was very fun. That it's like this callback to the '80s movie. It was cool.
Yeah. No. Exactly. I feel the same way. Now this one I didn't like the Dimension X as much as the one I grew up with, but I still appreciate it was in the show because our next episode is Into Dimension X.
Yeah, which brings back Leatherhead, who was stuck in Dimension X for a while now, and the turtles get a message from him that the Krang have perfected the mutagen, that they're ready for the invasion. So, well, Mikey goes through the portal to Dimension X, and the other turtles follow him. But Mikey was in Dimension X for a while, and he's like super smart in Dimension X because he knows everything uh, that's needed here, like how things work, because like physics don't really work the way that we know in on Earth. It's really crazy because uh, it doesn't make really sense for us, but for someone like Michelangelo, it's totally okay. So he's like the smart one here, and yeah, they have to infiltrate like this crank fortress, and then they run into Trek again and another stone creature, Granitor, and they have to fight them, and they save Leatherhead, and together with him they are able to like stop the crank for now and get back to Earth through a portal. But well, as the turtles say, like, okay, we stopped them, but it's not like they really stopped. They still working on their invasion. And where this is going, well, we're gonna see next.
Yeah, exactly. What I really like about this, once again, just like in season one, they don't rush the ending for us. We get a nice two-parter here to bring it home: the invasion.
Yeah, once again, big season finale. It all starts with when the Krang finally start their invasion of Earth, which starts when April brings Irma to the turtles there, and it turns out that Irma is actually a Krang in disguise, Krang subprime. And yeah, so the invasion starts. The turtles get attacked. All these Krang are everywhere, and it's just craziness. And well, during all this, like the turtles get separated, like Leonardo gets separated, and he runs into Shredder and his gang, and like a callback to the Leonardo micro series, he has to fight for himself. Splinter gets in there, and he has a little fight with Shredder. Leatherhead gets in there, has a little fight with Shredder. It's all craziness until the turtles come back together and try to stop the Krang that are starting to terraform Earth with their mutagen, like turn everything into like a second dimension X, like turning people into like this Krang monsters, including April's father, who also once again gets mutated, and April is even like, nah, not again. And then the turtles, they have to fight Krang Prime in a turtle mech. pretty cool, gotta say. And there's a big moment there where Shredder is fighting Splinter and he's defeating him, and the turtles see this but they cannot reach him because he's in another part of the sewer and they can't reach him through the parts. And Splinter like gets thrown into this pool of water and disappears in the water. And this is once again the great moment where Raph gets really angry and it's like, I will destroy you, Shredder, I will destroy you. And Mikey goes at him, hugs him. It's like, he will be okay. Splinter is a ninja master. He will be okay. And that calms Raph down. It's like wonderful brotherly moment once again. But in the end, the Turtles and April and Casey realize, like, okay, there's nothing that we can do right now. The Krang have taken over the city. We have to flee. So they drive off. And, well, Leonardo is really beaten up and they have to get out of town. And they then go to Northampton to a farmhouse of Casey's family, and that's where we end this season. And I always thought that this was a nice like a mirroring of the season finale of the first season, because if you remember, first season ended with the Turtles defeating the Krang, Turtles saving the day, everything's cool. Second season finale, the Krang take over the city and everything is bad. So I always thought that it was very, very interesting how they did this with these two season finales. Boy, what a season finale once again.
Yeah, just they find ways how to deliver and keep you coming back for more. It was cool too. They go to the farmhouse, almost like the 1990s movie. There's always I guess the moral of the story is, if you're ever in trouble, there's always a nice farmhouse somewhere. They did it in Avengers too, if you remember that, with Hawkeye and his little spot. So just if you're ever in trouble, just go look for a farmhouse. You'll find peace there.
I guess so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this season? This is another great episode here. I loved recapping all these with you. I appreciate you popping in the nice little fun facts of all the celebrities that took part in this great season. I mean, Corey Feldman comes here, Pee Wee Herman. The list goes on. We had the original voice actors come back, so you know this show has been a huge hit. Any final thoughts on season 2?
What can I say? It's really great how the story changes, how things happen. Like there's some really twists there that I did not see coming, like the Irma twist at the end of the season. I did not see this one. And Dog Pound getting turned into Raza. It's also a big one. The introduction of Slash. There's just so much good stuff. We meet Tiger Claw. We meet Ice Cream Kitty. And just so much good stuff. And Baxter Stockman get turned into a fly. And so on and so forth. There's just so much good stuff. I really especially like the whole history with Shredder and Splinter and Karai, how that's changing over the season, how everyone sees it. It's just, yeah, it's really cool how they how should I put it, how the story is going. Because you can say, hey, it's a kids show, but it gets really serious sometimes. It gets really interesting and very smart with the storytelling and some twists and turns that I did not see coming. So yeah, great season of a great show, I gotta say.
I agree all the way with you, brother, all the way. There's really, again, nothing I changed. Good shockers with Karai, like we said, getting to be a mutant at the end too, and the bad guys winning. I mean, I always appreciate shows where the good guys have potential to lose. I think that's why I've always liked the 1990s movie for Turtles the best, because it's okay to be disappointed, because it just makes you that much stronger when you overcome these challenges. So we're going to have a lot more to come in season 3, my friend. But yes, if people want to hear your interview with Kevin Eastman and talk about Ice Cream Kitty, where can they find you?
Yeah. You can find Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk, which is my podcast, on pretty much everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever. Or just go to my website, tmnttalk.com. And if you're just now interested in the Kevin Eastman interview, there's a tab on the website that says interviews, and just check it out there. There are all my interviews that I did, including the Kevin Eastman one, which is still to this day one of the greatest moments in my TMNT fan life. That I was talking to one of the co-creators of the TMNT is like still blows my mind. So yeah, tmnttalk.com. Check out the website. You can always find the social media, all the stuff there. Come on over and, well, check it out if you want.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my friend. Well, enjoy the rest of summer, which is coming to an end, and we hope to see you back here real soon, my friend. Thanks again, as always.
Oh, we definitely will. And, well, until next time, booyakasha.